Look around you. We're constantly bombarded with advice on how to be a better man, how to attract women, how to keep them happy. We're told to be strong, yet sensitive. Confident, but not arrogant. We're told to provide, protect, and be the unwavering rock in the relationship. But what happens when the relationship itself is the storm? What happens when the person you're dedicating your energy to is the very one draining the life out of you? Today, we're not talking about the little disagreements or the occasional bad day. We're talking about the deep, corrosive patterns of behavior that signal a relationship isn't just failing, it's actively destroying you. Many men are taught to endure, to fix things, to be the bigger person. But sometimes, the strongest, most self-respecting thing a man can do is to walk away. This isn't about giving up, it's about refusing to be a casualty. So if you recognize your partner in the behaviors we're about to discuss, this isn't just a video, this is your wake-up call. Pay close attention, because recognizing these signs is the first step toward reclaiming your life. Let's get into the first, and perhaps most insidious, red flag, the controller. This often starts so subtly that you might even mistake it for care. It begins with questions like, "Who was that on the phone?" or "Why are you going out with them again?" Soon, these questions turn into demands. She starts to dictate who you can and cannot see. Your oldest friends, the ones who have been with you through thick and thin, are suddenly labeled as bad influences. Your family, the very people who raised you, are now seen as meddling or disrespectful of your relationship. She isn't just expressing an opinion, she is systematically isolating you, cutting off your support system one by one, until she is the only person you have left to turn to. This isn't protection, it's imprisonment. The control then extends to your personal life. She wants access to your phone, your emails, your social media accounts. She frames it as a need for transparency, a way to build trust. But trust is not built on surveillance. It's built on mutual respect for privacy and autonomy. When you are required to report your every move, to justify every dollar you spend, to account for every minute you are not with her, you are no longer a partner in a relationship. You are a subject under investigation. This behavior is rooted in deep-seated insecurity, but that is not your burden to fix at the expense of your own freedom. A healthy partner wants to see you thrive with your friends and family. A controller wants to own you. If you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, seeking permission to live your own life, you need to understand that this is not love. It is a slow and steady erosion of your very identity. From the woman who wants to control your every move, we transition to a different, yet equally destructive type of partner, the constant critic. A relationship should be your safe harbor, the place you go for support and encouragement. But for many men, home is a battlefield where they are constantly under fire. The constant critic is a master of chipping away at your self-esteem, one belittling comment at a time. Nothing you do is ever good enough. You get a promotion at work, and she'll say, "Is that all they gave you?" or "It's about time." You fix something around the house, and she'll point out the one tiny flaw you missed. You buy her a gift, and she'll subtly hint that you should have gotten something else. These aren't constructive criticisms designed to help you improve. They are jabs designed to make you feel small, incompetent, and perpetually in her debt. She compares you unfavorably to others, her ex-boyfriends, her friends, husbands, even characters on TV. The message is clear. You do not measure up. This creates a toxic dynamic, where you are always striving for an approval that will never come. You start to second-guess yourself, to lose faith in your abilities. Her voice becomes the dominant voice in your head, the one that tells you you're not smart enough, not ambitious enough, not man enough. This is a deliberate strategy, whether conscious or not, to gain power in the relationship. By breaking you down, she makes you easier to control. She creates a dependency where your sense of self-worth is filtered through her lens of disapproval. A loving partner celebrates your victories and supports you through your struggles. A critic uses your vulnerabilities as ammunition. If the soundtrack to your relationship is a constant stream of negativity and complaint about who you are, it's time to change the station. Your spirit is being poisoned, and no relationship is worth the price of your self-respect. Now, let's talk about the woman who turns your life into a never-ending soap opera, the drama magnet. This woman thrives on chaos. If there is no conflict, she will create it. Her life is a series of emergencies, feuds, and emotional upheavals, and she insists on making you a central character in every single one. A peaceful, stable life is boring to her. She needs the adrenaline rush of a fight, the validation of having people rally around her during a crisis she likely manufactured. You'll find yourself constantly being dragged into arguments with her friends, her family, or even complete strangers. She will recount stories where she is always the victim, always wronged, and she will expect you to be her unwavering champion, to fight her battles for her. Your energy, which should be focused on your goals, your career and your own well-being, is instead consumed by putting out the fires she starts. A relationship with a drama magnet is utterly exhausting. You are not a partner. You are a permanent member of her crisis management team. You can never relax, because you're always waiting for the next explosion. This constant state of high alert takes a massive toll on your mental and physical health. It creates a state of anxiety and fatigue that bleeds into every other area of your life. You might find yourself becoming more irritable, less patient, and less focused at work. That's because your emotional resources are being depleted by a partner who feeds on turmoil. Healthy relationships are built on a foundation of peace and stability. Of course, life will throw challenges your way, but you should be facing them together as a team, not creating them for each other as a form of entertainment. If your relationship feels more like a chaotic television show than a partnership, you need to realize that you are not the producer, you are not the director, and you have the power to walk off the set. This leads us to another incredibly frustrating and damaging partner type, the unaccountable one. This is the woman for whom nothing is ever her fault. She has an excuse for everything, and that excuse almost always involves blaming someone else, usually you. If she's late, it's because you didn't remind her. If she overspends, it's because you're not making enough money. If she is unhappy, it is a direct result of something you did or failed to do. A relationship with this person is like living in a courtroom where you are always the one on trial. She is incapable of genuine self-reflection. The words, "I'm sorry I was wrong," are not in her vocabulary. Even if you manage to corner her with indisputable facts, she will twist the narrative, gaslight you, and somehow make it about your flaws. This refusal to take responsibility makes any real growth or resolution impossible. You can't solve problems with someone who doesn't believe they are part of the problem. You will find yourself apologizing for things that weren't your fault, just to keep the peace. You will start to question your own perceptions and memories. This is a classic manipulation tactic. By constantly shifting blame, she maintains a position of moral superiority and keeps you on the defensive. A partnership is about two people meeting in the middle, two people willing to admit their imperfections and work together to be better. It requires humility and the courage to be accountable. When one person refuses to do this, the entire foundation of the relationship becomes rotten. You are not her scapegoat. You are not responsible for her choices, her actions, or her happiness. If you are with a woman who cannot own her mistakes, you are in a relationship with a perpetual child, and you are not her parent. You are setting yourself up for a lifetime of frustration and resentment. Finally, we must address one of the most heartbreaking of all red flags, the dream killer. When you first met her, you probably shared your biggest goals, your most passionate ambitions. Maybe you wanted to start your own business, go back to school, learn a new skill, or travel the world. A supportive partner's eyes light up when they hear about your dreams. They become your biggest cheerleader. But the dream killer has a very different reaction. She may not openly mock your ambitions, at least not at first. Instead, she will subtly undermine them. She'll say things like, "Are you sure that's a good idea? It seems really risky," or, "That's nice, but how are we going to pay the bills?" She will frame her discouragement as practicality, as concern for your well-being, but beneath the surface her motives are rooted in fear and control. Your growth threatens her. Your success might mean you outgrow her. So she sabotages you in small, insidious ways. She will create distractions when you need to focus. She will pick a fight right before a big presentation or exam. She will fill your schedule with trivial obligations so that you have no time or energy left to pursue your goals. She will belittle your progress, making your achievements seem insignificant. Over time, you start to believe her. You start to think that maybe your dreams are silly, that maybe you don't have what it takes. You put your ambitions on the shelf, telling yourself it's for the good of the relationship. But a relationship that requires you to abandon your dreams is not a partnership, it's a cage. A great woman doesn't just stand by you. She inspires you. She pushes you to be the best version of yourself. She believes in you even when you doubt yourself. If your partner consistently pours water on the fire of your ambition, she is not the one for you. She is extinguishing the very light that makes you who you are. So what do? Recognizing these patterns is the first most difficult step. The next is to understand that you cannot change her. These behaviors are often deeply ingrained, and the only person you have control over is yourself. Staying, hoping she will change, is a recipe for a wasted life. Leaving is not an act of weakness, it is an act of profound self-respect. It is a declaration that you deserve to be in a relationship that builds you up, not one that tears you down. It will be hard. You will feel guilt. You will second-guess yourself. But the temporary pain of leaving is nothing compared to the slow, soul-crushing agony of staying. You deserve a partner who respects you, supports you, and brings peace to your life. You deserve a love that feels like a sanctuary, not a war zone. Take a hard look at your relationship. If these red flags are flying, don't ignore them. It's time to choose yourself. It's time to leave. If this message hit home, and you're ready to choose yourself, make sure to subscribe to Goodbye Mr. Nice. It's time to stop settling for a life that breaks you down. Say goodbye to being the nice guy who finishes last. Thanks for watching.